What's up guys, Sio here with week 6 of the PU Battleground, which is actually the last week of the tournament already, which seems kind of nuts to me because it feels like this just started, but we're already over and starting season 4 soon, so end of the tournament. This week we are taking on Rest in Peace HBK, coach of the Minnesota Volcarona. If you guys haven't been keeping up with the PU Battleground, we are actually 2nd and 3rd, I believe, in the PU Battleground right now, as well as having 2 of the top MVP candidates in Steelix and Barbarical, as well as a couple backup MVP candidates in Como and Shuckle, actually, interestingly enough. So this game actually is probably one of the most hyped games we've had all season. I should have probably taken notes, but I kind of forgot again, so I'm just going to roll with it. I'll start taking notes and being like more organized and stuff with my post-cons in Season 4, which will actually be starting in a couple of days. I'm planning on this being a same-day upload, so I'm recording this on the 16th of January, and our Season 4 draft is on the 20th of January, so stay tuned for a video for that, I guess. But first, we gotta get through HBK, because we want to win PUBG first. His team is very, very scary, in addition to the Pangoro, Comfey, Shuckle, Barbarical, Swallow, and Kiram. He also had Electros, Simisear, Perugly, Vileplume, Behem, and Gourgeist. And in our league, we actually allow all of the different forms of Gourgeist, so it's Gourgeist, Small, Medium, and Super. So you gotta prep for all of them, which is kind of interesting, I guess. But HBK's team was actually kind of a handful to prep for, so I kind of just didn't, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like a lot of my PU Battleground prep, since it was an off-season, probably took about 5 to 10 minutes. And this team is no different, so starting off, we have Miss Magius, who's holding the Life Orb this week with Energy Ball, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam. Max Special Attack, Max Speed. Something you're going to notice is pretty much everything on this team has a way to deal with both Barbarical and Shuckle, because I was very, 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 very scared of those, and kind of just hoped that I could take on the rest of his team, which is kind of backwards from the way that you would expect, but given how HBK plays and how good he is with those Pokemon, I wanted to make sure I emphasize those first. Next up is hopefully Mr. MVP Steelix, with Sturdy Leftovers, Roar, Heavy Slam, Earthquake, and Stealth Rock. Max HP and max attack, basically just meant to get up rocks and hit stuff and phase stuff out if it starts setting up in my face. I am scared to death of Contrary Shell Smash Shuckle as well as regular Shell Smash Barbarical. 2 very, very, very different means of ending any hopes and dreams of getting a win, I guess, even though it's the same move. Next up is Garbodor with Poisonium Z Gunk Shot. To be perfectly honest, I don't really remember what that was for outside of hitting Comfey pretty hard, which probably wouldn't really be staying in anyway. I think it was meant to get like a good neutral hit off on Vileplume and Gourgeist as well, because they're still neutral to it, as well as pretty much anything else. I think I noticed that since he didn't have a steel type, I could kind of just hit anything on his team with it, but Garbodor doesn't really hit super hard. But anyway, has Gunk Shot, Drain Punch, Haze, and Spikes, max attack, max HP as well. Haze is probably the most important move on this set because, again, I am scared of Shell Smashers, and I actually intentionally undersped Barbarical so he would be able to go to Shell Smash first, and then I go for Haze, because I don't think Haze is negative priority. Yeah, I think Haze is just regular priority, so you gotta be slower for it to work that well. But basically, goal, if this thing gets in against one of his setup mons, is to just kill it. Like, make sure that it doesn't set up. We just keep spamming Haze until it kills us, and then go from there. Next up is Lumberry Como, with Dragon Dance, Close Combat, Ice Punch, and Taunt. Again, Taunt's meant to make sure that Shell Smash doesn't run through my team. If this is in against Shuckle, the plan is to just set up a Taunt against it so it can't Shell Smash, and then Dragon Dance up past it, and then just go for close combats until it's at the point where it can be 2-hit KO'd. Pretty basic, I guess. Also pretty basic is the Slurpuff. It's pretty much the same one I've run most of the season with Citrus Berry Unburdened, Belly Drum, Play Rough, Drain Punch, and Facade. Again, max attack, max speed. Slurpuff doesn't really need to change a whole lot in order for it to be very, very good, so kind of just keep bringing the same one, especially since he has a couple of things on his team that are actually pretty just weak to Play Rough in general. So I'm alright with that. And then finally, we have a low version with black glasses, foul play, parting shot, snatch, and dark pulse. This is kind of just a fun set because I didn't really know what I wanted to run in the last slot, but I knew I kind of needed Persian this week for the speed, because it pretty comfortably outruns everything on his team but Swallow, which is nice. And then black glasses foul play actually does a pretty decent amount of damage, either to anything that's set up already, such as Barbarical, which is the thing that I was kind of worried about, because I'm pretty sure max speed Persian still outspeeds +2 Barbarical, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it does, or at least comes close, I guess. But black glasses boosted foul play ends up kind of doing a decent amount of damage to anything on his team that has good or even decent physical attack, and then I can just parting shot around, snatch to steal a potential boost of some kind. So like if this is in against Shuffle and he tries to go for a shell smash, I'll snatch, steal a shell smash, and then be a +2/+2/+2 Persian, which might be kind of fun, I guess. And then I have Dark Pulse on there in case I do get a shell smash boost and can kind of just start trying to flinch stuff for the fun of it. So basically, the plan was to just play offensively enough that I didn't really give him a chance to shell smash, and to kind of just keep pivoting around into stuff to make sure that I had as good of a chance as possible. Seeing as how he doesn't really have a defogger on this team except for Swallow, which isn't really like that great of a defogger, I wanted to get rocks up, mostly, honestly, just to break a focus sash on Barbarical. He leads Swallow, which makes sense. I guess I actually wanted to lead Como, but I should have led Steelix to get rocks up. So I go Steelix now as he goes for an air slash onto my Steelix, which is fine because I resist it, and even though I don't have special defense, it doesn't really matter. So I get my leftovers, and at this point, since he did go for air slash, I kind of just assumed that he specs, since spec Swallow is kind of very popular, I guess. So I'm just going to try to get my rocks up. Unfortunately, he misses a heat wave, and later told me that he was actually Metronome Swallow instead of Choice Spec Swallow, so that was kind of ridiculous, because I'm pretty sure that would have killed me. I'm like almost positive it would have killed me, actually, because I didn't really expect a heat wave coming off of a non-choiced item Swallow. But because its speed tier hit so high, I'm pretty sure he was still able to like go modest and do a decent amount of damage to me. So I got really lucky there, end up getting a kill and get rocks up as he just goes Kirim. Predicting an Earth Power, I just decided to go Mismagius here. He goes for a Focus Blast, which is the same thing, I guess. Earth Power probably would have done more and been a safer play overall, I guess, but that's okay, I guess. So I just go for a Dazzling Gleam, Life Orb, Dazzling Gleam, still a 2 KO, even if he's Earth Power or Assault Vest, which is nice. So I force him out. I might as well just keep trying to do damage here. And at this point, I just go Garbodor, because I don't really have like a reason to keep Garbodor around for a very long time. Like, it does a decent amount of damage, I guess, and Poisonium Z is still like neutral to everything. But I have to be careful with what I switch it into, because he still does have like 2 Shell Smashers, and most of the time Garbodor's kind of passive, and you don't really want to have passive Pokemon in against a team that needs like 1 turn to Shell Smash and win, basically. He ends up going straight in Barbarical right here, which is kind of what I was worried about. So at this point, like I said, he needed 1 turn, so he tries to get his Shell Smash up. And I'm just going to let these next couple of turns play, because HBK kind of makes the right play and just keeps trying to Shell Smash, assuming that I'm eventually going to over-predict and try to go for a Spike or something and mess up. But at this point, like, I am 100% committed to Garbodor dropping here. This is like the worst case scenario I could have had, but this is also the reason I have Haze. Worst case scenario, if he goes for all like 32 of his Shell Smashes or whatever he has, I still have like 42 Hazes. So there's no way he's leaving this exchange with a Shell Smash up. He realizes this and gets some good damage on me as I keep spamming Haze. Ironically enough, I get rid of my defense drop from Liquidation, but not it really matters anyway. Garbodor just keeps hazing it up. I don't actually remember how many turns this goes on for, which is why I'm just kind of letting it play. But eventually he does kill me, Aftermath gets that boost, so even if he was Focus Sash at this point, I can Revenge Kill with anything I have. Mismagius outspeeds and has Energy Ball, so there's no reason for me not to go into that as he goes back into Comfey. Goes for the Energy Ball. It actually does a decent amount of damage, which is a little bit surprising. And then I forget Draining Kiss is priority and end up sacking Mismagius, which is kind of dumb on my part, but there wasn't really like a ton it could do anymore. That crit doesn't really matter, I think, just because Heavy Slam would have killed and then he would have went Barbarical to finish me off next turn anyway. It may have mattered, I guess, just because I was max HP, but it doesn't really matter long term. I go for the taunt just to make sure that he's not Shell Smashing, and he shows very good coverage in Dragon Claw, which is nice. Good prep on his part. And I guess it makes sense because it's not like I was going to be doubling in a Slurpuff or anything right there, so it was a pretty safe Dragon Claw overall. So, at this point, unfortunately, I can't Dragon Dance. I was kind of hoping that he would just either switch out or I would get a chance to go for a Dragon Dance and then actually be able to do a little bit more damage to his team. So I just have to go straight for the Close Combat, which kind of sucks. At least Barbarical's gone. But now I have to switch out because obvious Bullet Punch is coming. Thankfully, Fur Coat allows me to take that hit pretty well. I kind of wish I actually had like Nasty Plot here so I could have actually done a little bit more, but that's okay. I'll just go Slurpuff and then double back into Persian on the steel coverage to try to weaken this thing a little bit more, because Kyurem is kind of scary for the rest of my team. I was also kind of hoping I would be able to take that a little bit better, but it's okay because he is a little bit bulkier, so I am able to outspeed. Back into Persian I go, because I still need to keep this thing around for a little bit longer. Again, Nasty Plot would have been nice, but I'll just go for a Foul Play, because even though it's resisted, it actually does a decent amount of damage. I think I get one more off. I just go for a Dark Pulse here. Yeah, so he eventually kills me off, and I'm able to go Slurpuff. And this play is actually pretty interesting, so I wanted to pause it and kind of talk about it here for a second. So, fearing his Bullet Punch, I knew that I wouldn't be able to actually Belly Drum right here, even though I really wanted to, because if I Belly Drum right here, I get the free 2-hit KO basically on Shuckle. Even if it tries to come in and Shell Smash, I'll basically knock it down like to 70 or 80%, it Shell Smashes and gets +2 defense, and then I'm able to go from there. So, even though I want to Belly Drum right here, I feel like I have to play rough because I see him going for a Bullet Punch, knocking me down into range where I could like eat my Citrus Berry and get unburdened anyway. And then from there I would be able to basically Belly Drum, go down to like 12% and then be OHKO'd by the next Bullet Punch anyway. So he actually shows very good tech, which makes me very happy that I didn't do that, because he actually shows Z-Snatch and would have just straight up swept my team there if I would have actually went for a Belly Drum there. So very good prep on HBK. I wasn't expecting Z-Snatch, so I got pretty lucky there. I kind of just wanted to explain that because I did not read Z-Snatch and was like, I'm not going to Belly Drum to avoid that. I kind of just thought that Bullet Punch would have been a 2-hit KO or so from the range if I did Belly Drum, so I had to be careful and not. And then basically just try to Belly Drum on this thing. So, at this point, I actually want to switch into Como on his Shell Smash, because I kind of want to explain how Shell Smash works for Shuckle, because it's completely differently than it does for Barbarical. It's actually the exact opposite. So, on Barbarical, Shell Smash is an offensive move that basically boosts all of its offenses and makes it super hard to hit. Shuckle, on the other hand, has an ability called Contrary, where it reverses all the stat changes, so it just gradually gets more and more defensive as it gets less and less offensive. If you know Shuckle's stats, it has like base 5 offense, I think, and then like base like 250 or something like that defense, so it's absolutely ridiculous wall already. And then it basically just gets boosted past that, which is obscene. So, HBK actually swept MDS MVP with this last week, and got 6 kills with his Shuckle when it was in a similar situation like this. So, not fucking around with that. I'm going into combo right now to be able to taunt it and basically just stop it and at least only get one shell smash up, and then from there I can hopefully use a combination of Dragon Dance and Close Combat to be able to take it out. Unfortunately, because of the damage I took earlier in the game by switching around with the Flash Cannon, I dropped to Infestation there. It was a good read by HBK, honestly, just to go for the Infestation straight up, because if I did double into combo, it could have been an issue, I guess. So, at this point, I have to Belly Drum. Like, I don't really actually have another option here, because I just have to get my offense up before he gets his defense up, pretty much. So, I go for Belly Drum, he goes for Shell Smash, boosts his offense, or boosts his defense at the cost of his offense and speed, which don't matter at all. You can already see that this is a pretty nerve-wracking situation, because at +1 defense it already did 60%, and he has leftovers, so this next one's not going to kill, and then he's either going to get another Shell Smash up, or more likely, if this is the exact same set as last week, go for a rest, and then I'm kind of just hoping that I can kill it off as he doesn't get the sleep talk rolls he needs, pretty much. However, because Slurpuff just fucking loves me this season, I get the crit that I need right there to be able to actually kind of wipe it out. If I didn't, HBK actually said he clicked rest that turn, so it would have basically just been up to sleep talk rolls of if he would have gotten 1 or 2 more shell smashes up before I ran out of play roughs or missed a play rough, pretty much. So I would have actually been in not the best situation had that game gone on for any longer than it did. Like, I kind of put myself into an okay situation to win, I guess. I didn't really realize it during the battle, but I played Steelix extremely risky. I kind of stacked Miss Magius for absolutely no reason, and then Como-O kind of died for also absolutely no reason. So, it's okay. I feel like I put myself in an alright situation to win. I feel like HBK kind of had better prep and play throughout the game, so hacks definitely helped me win. But good game. We actually play each other again in Season 4, and I think it's actually the first time we play each other in a regular season. We battled each other like once or twice in a bunch of off seasons before, where neither of us had taken it like 100% seriously. So it'll be really nice to be able to like buckle down and like super hardcore prep for HBK and have like a really good battle in the regular season. So looking forward to that. But first, we have one more battle in the PU Battleground, because we did finish second in the tournament with a 5-1 record and +10 differential. Unfortunately, we're playing the one person we lost to this season in Fluga and the Hamilton Rycats, which is kind of cool because I want revenge for that game because I don't feel like I played 100%. It kind of always seems like whenever I play Fluga, I get a little bit over in my head trying to like psych him out and stuff, so I'm really looking forward to just like an honest, like good, simple battle, I guess. I'll reveal my strategy now. Fluga, if you're watching, congratulations. But since this game's kind of ending not super important off-season, I kind of figured it would just be nice to have like one really good battle to go out on before going into Season 4. So thank you guys for coming by, for watching this. I know this wasn't the most organized battle recap, I guess. But the PU Battleground's been super fun. I'm really happy with how my team did. Going 5-1 is about as good as I could ask for, obviously. Would have been nice to go 6-0, but 5-1's pretty damn good too, so I'll take it. And being in the finals is all I really wanted. Just a chance to win was nice. And going up against Fluga is also cool, because we got a lot of shit on the channel, so it's nice to kind of have it overlap in different projects. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one. Drop any likes and subscribes and comments for sets if you want to see anything else. I'm probably not going to get around to reading it before building the team for the championship, but if you want to potentially see more of these Pokemon on the channel and stuff, let me know, because slight spoilers, I am interested in some of the Pokemon that I have, as well as some of the Pokemon that other coaches drafted for Season 4. So some of them will be making a return, I guess. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.